Hi, friends. I am broadcasting today, live streaming today from St. Louis. I'm Meredith Colby, author of I'm Meredith Colby, author of Money Notes, How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever. I've already been drinking today. No, I haven't. And I'm the creator of Neurovocal for Popular Styles, a way to approach teaching for popular styles based on brain science. And I am here in St. Louis today with Sharon North Jones, who is the author, also not an author.
No.
Also not an author, who is the owner of the aptly named SNJ Studios in Omaha, Nebraska. And there she is. And we are here today because Sharon and I happen to be here together because we do these annual retreats where we hang out and drink copious amounts of wine and talk about our businesses. We've been friends for 30 years, you guys, since we were 9. And we, okay, 9.5. And we've gone through, have we gone through some stuff together. And today, one of the things that's happened with Sharon and me is our journey into our various things. Hello, whoever gave us the heart. Oh, by the way, feel free, hearts and thumbs. We always love that. And comments and what have you. So Sharon started, how long ago did you do that, Sherry?
Started the studio on April Fool's Day of 2002.
That's my anniversary.
It is. Yes, it is.
Wait a minute. 1 year after I got married, she opened her studio.
I did.
And so we have fumbled together, she and I. And today I was hoping to talk to Sharon since she happens to be here, and she is sober because it's still early in the day. And I wanted to talk to her today about things she has learned as a multi-teacher studio owner. And if she could go back and talk to her younger self, what would she tell her younger self to do differently than she has done? Because why not? Because then if she says that out loud, maybe there's a younger Sharon out there who will learn from older Sharon's, from 39-year-old Sharon's mistakes.
So, you're too kind.
I know. Well, anyway, so that's what we're hoping today. And if you have any questions, if you do have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat now or later, because we will answer them later if you see this on the replay or on YouTube. Okay, so yeah, comments on the bottom on YouTube, and we will answer them as best we can. So I'm going to ask Sharon questions today. We realized as we were setting this up that it was a bit awkward. Put your head over here. It's a bit awkward because if I talk to her, I won't be looking at the camera anymore. So I'm going to talk to her and also look at the camera. It'll be like music theater.
It will.
I'll be talking to her like this. Okay, so the first thing what I said in the email to everybody, Sharon, is I said, what insights have you gleaned and what mistakes would you avoid next time? So which of those would you like to start with?
Well, it's easier to start with the mistakes because it's a big old long list, I have to tell you.
Okay.
So just to back up, when I feel like I started the studio by accident. It wasn't
as one does.
As one does.
As one does, right? Isn't that how a multi-teacher studios start most of the time?
Absolutely. Because, my path was classical music. I'm an opera singer. And so I graduated with my brand new master's degree in opera.
Make an opera noise, please. Will you please? Thank you.
Okay, so
there's proof.
And so here I was. What in the world was I going to do to support myself? Because they taught us nothing practical in college.
As is the way.
Yeah,
this is the way.
So the first step, of course, is always you hang out your own shingle. You start as a single teacher. I did that. I rented a space because I had taught in my home, but I did not want to do that again because I wanted to separate it. There's number one. Separate your workspace from your living space. Oh, yeah. And so soon I had an extra room in there. So I thought, why not hire somebody to teach, I don't know, piano while I am teaching voice. And it started just kind of snowballing from there. But you have to realize that I had no experience in running a business. I had never taken an accounting course or a bookkeeping course. I knew nothing about marketing. And way back in the olden days, 20 years ago, it wasn't social media marketing, but still, so today
Still,
you got to know
principles
that.
apply, right?
Yeah. I knew nothing about that. I knew nothing about employees versus contractors or I call it herding cats, but managing employees and hiring and firing or compliance. Oh my goodness. IRS compliance and all of that. I knew nothing about that. It was just, hey, I know how to teach. I'm going to open a studio. So the first thing I would say,
I have an extra space. I'll rent it out.
well, exactly.
That's how. But isn't that how multi-teacher studios always start?
I think it usually does, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Doesn't have to
Because
be
I
that
made
way.
every single mistake that there is to make. Cost me a whole lot of time, a whole lot of angst, whole lot of money, I'm sure. If I look back at what if I had set things up correctly. So the biggest thing I want to say to people is don't wing it. Don't wing it. Take the time to learn the things that you need to know.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll read that in a second.
Okay,
You go
we'll get
ahead.
there.
I'll read it.
Learn the things that you need to know before you open your doors, or at least be familiar with them. So in this day and age, you really have to know about social media marketing. And I'm saying this from the point of view of somebody who is just starting out, where you're going to do most of the jobs yourself to start with.
Right.
Unless you have a big old lump of money to get started and you can hire staff right away, you're going to be the one running it. You're going to be working a lot of hours, but it's not forever. So
If you do it right.
if you do it right.
If you don't, then it will be forever.
Yeah, exactly. And let me tell you another mistake. It took me far too long to get to the point where I had other people doing jobs and figuring out what my job was supposed to be in the organization.
Which is pursuant to Adrienne Osborne's question. She just sent this question. So Adrienne has a very successful studio in Denver,
Great.
and she specializes in band singers, popular styles, which I think is so cool. And Adrienne is also a superhuman. But anyway, so what she's saying is, how do you track customer support issues and incoming
that's
leads?
a good question.
Do you know how you do that? Because it's too large for one full-time employee.
Okay.
So do you have a way that you do that yet that you would advise?
Well,
specifically?
yes. I'm in the midst right now of trying to improve in that area. Right now,
Sherry, how did you learn? How are you learning?
Oh, I
to
will
improve?
I will tell
We will
everybody
get to
about
it.
that
Okay,
in just a second.
Okay.
So right now we use Wix for our website, and so I create cards for everybody, and we have kind of two little categories in there: in the works, or new, in the works, and then complete. And that way it's always there, so whoever is working the front desk can go in and see what has happened with each client. So they could pick up in the middle.
What's the software you use for that?
It's just on Wix, which is the website creating.
Is it a plugin for Wix?
It is not. It's just part of it. It's there, part of it.
And they're called cards?
Yeah, it's just how you create the customer, how you track customers.
So they have a CRM, customer something management software.
They do.
And do you know what it's called? Their software, their plugin?
I
Because I don't use CRM with Wix, so that means must be.
I don't. I have a partner who does some stuff, and he
okay.
said,
So
hey,
Adrienne, there's a CRM.
Yeah.
Like Trello. Trello's a CRM software, right, for customer management. So apparently, yes, like Trello.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Exactly. But I just think, what we have gone from like the abacus version of everything, keeping things in notebooks to on the computer. And so now we're doing this right now, and I'm searching for a more efficient customer management system, but this is working for the moment so that I can have
Oh, task.
Task management. Yes. I can have more than one person doing the customer service, and they can see where the last person left off, what happened, and then we go on from there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but it's a plugin on Wix. So Adrian, I'm going to guess that there is probably a software, and if you look up CRM software for small business, that there's some kind of software that would allow you to do a version of what Sharon's talking about, what inquiries in the works, and what's the third one?
The third one we have
Captured.
captured. Yes. The action, if we've kind of completed it, we keep those around
okay.
for a while
then,
so that we can.
And then whoever is on deck that day can look at what's in the works.
Right. And they
do
can
the
also
next thing.
see, this person that I talked to, I see them in the completed pile. I don't have to worry about this person anymore. It's already done.
Right.
So, yeah, that has worked really well for us.
It's very simple.
It's very simple. I'm always seeking simplicity. But, over the years, I have had to learn about social media marketing. I've had to learn about, accounting. Didn't have even a single accounting class or bookkeeping. And at this point, I have people that do some of the stuff, because the goal is to get to the point where I am working on the business and not in the business, not doing the daily tasks of, all the stuff.
But you had a life-changing class this last year.
I did.
Because don't we learn things the hard way, right?
Exactly. Like I said, I went to college. My degrees are in vocal performance, and so
she has a master's degree from Northwestern.
Oh, puff puff. But
do this.
Oh, sorry, toss.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. So there were no practical classes, which I really think that every musician should take. It should be required, some sort of little suite of entrepreneurial classes that will help you, because you're going to be self-employed out there and you need to know the stuff. So last summer on our retreat, we stumbled upon.
We didn't stumble.
We didn't stumble.
At
Meredith showed
gunpoint,
me.
I made her.
There is a wonderful, wonderful organization called SECO, which is the Speak Easy Cooperative. And it is for voice teachers, and it's just all kinds of resources and just teaches you all that business stuff that you did not. And there was a specific class that they had for multi-teacher studio owners. I could not recommend that enough. Yeah. So it was wonderful. It was all the stuff that I didn't have. And what I found in this class, I learned that I was doing some stuff right and I was doing some stuff very wrong. And if I had known then what I know now, it would have been so much easier to get started. Yeah. And I would not have had to stumble my way and spend so much time on every category. So,
but don't you think it's the fundamental misunderstanding that small business owners have? I mean, I've been guilty of this too, where we think I am the business.
Yes.
So I'm always working on my business. And if I don't do it, it won't get done, or it won't get done right. And what I noticed from you taking that class is that you really shifted your perspective about that, where you were like, I need this to be done. How can I make it so someone else can do it?
Yes.
And how can I identify the people who are going to do it to a level that reflects my studio, the integrity of my studio?
Yes.
And you've been amazing at that this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thank you, Liz Jackson and Jen Blanton, who are my teachers in the class that I took. SOPs, standard operating procedures. What? It's like magic, you guys. It's just, and we're all right-brained people. We're performers. We're artists, and so this has been the most wonderful thing. Take the time to write out the steps for every single job. It clarifies things. Then you can identify the person. You might have somebody already on your staff who would be really great at that. They have the skill do the social media, even gathering the material that you need,
handling the new inquiries,
right? Whatever it is, going after the deadbeats, because we all have them.
Oh yeah, you did that. This time.
I did.
You
farmed
that out.
But I just found I started doing that in this class, writing out just very intricate step-by-step procedures for every job in the place, and then looking at it and saying, okay, which jobs do I need to do? Do they actually have to have the Sharon North Jones stamp on them? And which jobs can I delegate to other people? And which jobs do I not know enough about and don't want to take the time to learn?
Right.
Because I have other things to do. So I have an accountant, instead of doing my own accounting and possibly messing it up. And, she keeps me flying under the IRS's radar, which is wonderful.
I like that.
And, and I've started really delegating things to other people, but delegating in a way that takes it off of my plate completely.
Right. So, you know what? I did not tell people, excuse me, but Sharon's studio is huge, you guys. She's like 600 people who come to her studio. She's a really big, how many people work for you?
I've got about 35, 37.
Between employees
between
and subcontractors.
35 and 40, depends on what's going on.
Employees and subcontractors, between 35 and 40. So it's really big. It's really successful. She's got a lot going on. And she built it kind of the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's fixing it, which is kind of amazing that she was able to do that much, thinking that she had to do every single thing. And I am here to tell you, she did think she had to do every single thing, because we argued about it on our retreats every year.
It is true.
No, but do you have to do that? Yes, I have to do that. But also that was partly because you did, first of all, you didn't have a standard operating procedure.
No, I did not.
You didn't know from those.
No.
And also you had not yet had that conversation with Michelle Marquardt DeVoe, where she was like, 100% subcontractors is not a good plan.
Yeah.
And she helped you, right?
She did.
She
did.
helped
I want to talk about that.
Oh,
for a
okay,
second.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a little list here of things.
It's too
that
long
I
of a
want
list.
To say.
We're not going to be here that.
It's all right.
Long,
there's a couple things that if
we're not going to be here that long.
But if I could,
we have wine to drink.
I know we do.
All right, go ahead.
Lots of it. If I could talk to myself 20 years ago and just say, okay, these are the things that are going to make your life so much easier and make your studio better. Of course, I've already mentioned the suite of entrepreneurial knowledge, which doesn't have to be a class. There are all kinds of resources on the interwebs that you can find, and you can also, at first we have no money, so it's not like, oh, we'll just go and hire somebody to do it.
Right.
Not possible at first. So you have to educate yourself. You're going to work a lot, and that's just the way it is. Then this is a mistake I made that I was unaware. So I had all of my teachers were contractors, because it seemed that was the industry standard, but things have changed, and you can get, the IRS is starting to see us. And this really happened over the pandemic, because there were so many people, they were allowing contractors to file for unemployment. And so they started looking at these contractors and saying, oh, well, you shouldn't be a contractor here. And I had been thinking about this for a while anyway, but I did have this conversation. I had a coaching session with a really fabulous business coach. And the first thing she said, we're not moving any farther until you change this. So I made them all employees, which is, of course, for compliance reasons and all of that, it's a wonderful thing. But for them, it's a wonderful thing.
Right.
These people that I hire are professionals. Most of them have advanced degrees. They deserve to be treated like professionals. They
Right.
deserve to be employees who don't pay all of their own taxes. And when I did this switch over, we even figured out a way to give them a paid vacation every summer.
Wow.
Which was the most, and I did it by hiking prices and just holding my breath.
Whew.
Because, when
And did you lose clients?
I did not.
You did not. Excuse
I
me.
did
She did
not.
She hiked prices and she did not lose clients.
Man, that was a scary
Okay.
moment, I have to tell you, but we
Say
did.
my three favorite words I love to hear. Sam.
What are your you were right.
Thank you. Because I've been telling her for years,
Right.
you got to raise your prices, you got to raise your prices. And she goes, people, okay, you guys, see if you hear yourself in these words, we've all said it. People in my area won't pay that much. We've all said it, right? You said it, Sherry, right? For so long?
Yeah, I did.
Yep. People in my area won't pay that much. And then all of a sudden she had to raise her prices. And turned out people in her area would pay that much.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And you know what? It's something that I knew all along that because when I first priced my studio, I moved to town from Chicago to Nebraska, which I know is a weird move, but it's worked out for us.
But you got to upgrade at some point. You got to move to Nebraska.
I like Nebraska.
No, we do. Omaha is a great town.
So I checked all of the studios in town to see what they were offering. I mean, what they were charging, and went with what looked like the most prestigious studio and matched their prices. And I would say, yeah, don't set your prices too low. It's harder to hike them later. And there's this thing from my years of like sounds weird to say jobbing, but I was jobbing opera singer.
Yeah.
If you do not set your prices high enough, they think that you must not be that good.
Right.
And so look around your area, do some research, see what the others are charging, and then bump it up from there just a little bit. Because I have to tell you, I was so scared to raise prices, especially it was just, in the middle of the pandemic, actually. But if I was going to offer my teachers what they needed, which was to have employee status and offer them this paid vacation, then I had to do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad I did, but it was scary. I can still remember writing out all of the copy and then pressing send and just thinking I have either done something wonderful for my studio or I have made a big old mistake. And
okay,
we
but
will find out.
Did you lose anybody?
No. I mean, we didn't.
Wait, 0%. Nobody quit.
I'm sure we had some because
but not enough that you noticed.
Not enough so that I went, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. No,
right, okay.
There's always in and out, with every studio.
So you actually couldn't even tell.
So no, I had exactly one person call me at the studio and say, so this price hike is a little steep.
So one client out of 600.
So
you guys,
just one. And
raise your prices, everybody.
And I said, well,
because you deserve it too. You're a professional.
Yeah. Where's it's market value. You just respond. I always tell my employees, just be polite and detached, and friendly.
Polite and detached.
Polite and detached, yes. But and nobody else really blinked an eye.
Okay.
And so.
So what's the next thing? I'm sorry, but I'm looking at the time.
Oh, okay. I would say the first thing to get started is to decide on your philosophy and what is it that you offer? What do you offer that other people, not even that who cares about other people? What do you offer? Well, seriously.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's
because
very wise.
It may be similar to what somebody else offers, but what is
right.
your thing?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the people that you are serving? Because I feel like, to boil it down, my head teacher at the studio had a dad who was an educator, not a music educator, and he was just a wonderful person. And he would constantly ask this question, which is, it's very simple. It's just, what's best for kids? And we serve mostly kids. They're through high school. We have a few adult, young adult young professionals as well, but the majority of our students are middle school, high school students. So if I can look at every decision I make as what is best for them, and gauge it, around that, the policies, the classes that we offer, the people that I hire and their demeanor and how we treat people. Everything comes from that, and it makes it so much easier to figure out how you're going to operate things. I want to do what's best for the kids, and I also want to do what's best for my employees, to allow them to the freedom to be the teachers and the artists that they are,
Right.
and not be encumbered by all the other stuff.
Because they're the face of the studio.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
Yeah.
The face of the studio. The studio doesn't have one face, it has a lot of faces. And I have one last thing. I know we don't have enough time.
No, it's okay. No, do. No, say it. I know there's a million things.
This is a regret. You told me to write down some mistakes.
Yes, okay, right.
All right, so the official name of my studio is Sharon North Jones Studio of Music.
Excuse me, I'm laughing, you guys, because I've been giving her poopy poop about this name for 20 years.
So narcissistic, right? I blame my father because he said to me, oh, like, you just
really?
moved here from Chicago. You've got to get your name out there. And I'm here to tell you, no, you don't. Because I can't sell Sharon North Jones Studio of Music to somebody else. I can't have a franchise in another town because nobody knows that person. So
have a name.
Have a name that is not your own name.
On the other hand, I also am saying to her, this is another one where I'm right. We think I'm right. I could be wrong. We'll have to find out. But I've been telling her, once she decides to rebrand, which she's going to sooner or later, that's a year's worth of social media marketing, you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Rebranding is amazing. So if you have picked a name like Sharon did out of, and you're regretting it for whatever reason, when you rebrand, go for it. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It reinvigorates your studio. It gives you a year of marketing stuff. It's going to be fun when you decide to do it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But we know that's on the deck. It's on the docket.
And this is something that was discussed a lot in the class that I took. I love that class so much.
What was that class again?
It was the SECO multi-teacher studio.
Speakeasy Cooperative, you guys.
Yeah.
Speakeasy Cooperative.
Speakeasy Cooperative. Check it out.
If you have a voice business, you should be in this group.
But then your studio is the face of the studio, not you. And so you don't have to do everything. Because if the name of my studio was not Sharon North Jones Studio of Music, they wouldn't expect me to be at every recital because,
Okay.
there are certain things that certain freedoms that I would have to delegate certain things, I think. And also, just thinking down the line, you're going to get old like me one day and maybe want to either franchise or sell the business.
You'll be 39 one day.
But, I just think that I know that that's important. And I have to tell you that right now, even after being in business for 150 years, it scares me.
What does?
The rebranding and picking a new name scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
But
because it's another commitment, right?
Yeah.
It's like a tattoo.
But if I want to open studios in other towns, which I do, then it needs to be. It needs to be. I mean, look at like Kinder Music.
Kinder
Music is everywhere and everybody knows what it is. And they don't care who the individual teachers are. No. That's less important. And
although you do have to get a license.
Oh, no, I know that.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
So that's a thing.
Of course. But it's that name and it can be anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was your regrets, your basic regrets. Was that your biggest regret? Picking your name?
I have to say that's a pretty big regret.
You wish you had. Okay. So if you were going to go back and tell your younger self.
Yeah.
The biggest, I'm just recapping.
Okay.
So you can correct me, okay? If I say something wrong.
Yeah.
Your biggest regret is thinking you had to know everything ahead of time and not learning from somebody who knew more than you.
That is correct. Or thinking that I had to figure it out by myself.
Thinking she had to figure it out by
Yeah.
herself. So
And a lot of that
so
is
really
money.
kind of the lone wolf attitude
Oh,
and the
man,
and
yeah.
the brokenness attitude.
Yeah.
But to be fair, in the olden days before the interweb, it did cost money to learn everything.
Mhm.
Now there's so much free information on the interweb.
Yeah.
So you have enough to get started. And also stuff can be really cheap. Like you can go to these online like Udemy or Kajabi or Teachable, and they have, you know, courses on basic bookkeeping for $79,
Mhm.
which you didn't have. Well, we didn't really have that back then, 20 some years ago.
No.
And now you do. So you can have, you really don't, even on a budget, even without a lot of money, you don't have to learn stuff on the fly by yourself.
Exactly.
Right? You can lean into other people's knowledge.
Yes. And that there's much free information out there in the world.
Right.
And I would say, don't just open your doors and then just try to figure it out. Because I have to say that my MO has been for the majority of my life is to dive in and then learn how to swim. And that is the biggest thing I would say to my younger self is let's take a second and let's at least read a book about swimming, shall we? Let's do that. An article.
Yeah,
Let's
but you would have said to
swimming.
yourself, you're not the boss of me. Stop telling me what to do.
Yes, I'm older and wiser now. But yeah, seriously, that's what I would do. Learn at least, enough of the different areas of things that you are going to need to run this business before you open the doors.
All right, what if you have already opened your doors, though? What if you've already been doing that?
Then talk to people who have done it.
Okay.
Talk to people who have done it before. Pick their brains. Don't reinvent the wheel, because what you can then do is they have maybe reinvented the wheel themselves, or they've invented this wheel and they've taken it to this point. And if you learn what they already know from them, then you can go farther,
right,
faster.
I know. I tell people this all the time with my classes. Like, you don't have to figure out how to teach popular styles. Come take my class and save yourself 10 years of struggle.
Exactly.
Save yourself 10 years of feeling like a fake. Just come take the class.
Oh, man, yes. And that's a big thing, of feeling like they're going to figure it out.
Take the class, I don't know what I'm doing. And save yourself 10 years of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. And hire great people. Just use your gut, because you'll know when the right people walk in the door and you feel that connection with them. So.
Okay.
Although I've had a couple
That is
times.
awesome. So this is Sherry's also putting together. She will be teaching this to some music majors. Yes, at Midvale.
They're music business majors.
Music business majors at Midland
University.
Midland University. So she will be teaching this to a bunch of university students, and you're getting it for free. See, free information on the interweb. There it is, you guys. I hope this has been helpful for everybody today. If you have questions, again, if you have questions on if you're watching this on the replay or you're watching it on YouTube, put the questions in. We will get to them. If I don't know the answer, I will send them to Sharon North Jones, SNJ Studios in Omaha, Nebraska.
Stop.
And if you want information about me, I'm at neuro-vocal.com. And there we go. Have a great week, you guys. Thank you for watching this live broadcast from St. Louis, Missouri on our annual wine drinking business planning retreat.
Thanks for having me, Meredith.
Thanks for being here. Bye.